we're in the middle of our briefing for our Virtual USA Flying Club event, flying over Disney World. Basically, we're taking off from Okeechobee, Florida, to Orlando, Florida, and we'll be flying momentarily. So. That'd be this right here. Right here. We want to go north. Directions are here. I think it said 1,500 for that, just so everyone to be clear. They said to maintain 1,500 until advised to go in there. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, I want to watch this off screen. I want to get the plane started while we're waiting, but also have to fuel the plane. Okay, fuel's on. Hey, what's up? Brett. You gonna watch on the Twitch here? Because I know you couldn't make it, right? All right, again, I'm gonna get this thing started. Fuel's on. Seat track back lock. Avionics off. Autopilot off. Throttle 1/4 of an inch. Mixture fully. Brakes are set. Master on. Beacon on. Fuel pump should be off. And now fuel pump goes on. Mixture full rich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Full lean. Pump off. All right. Clear prop. Mags to start. Here we go. Pretty good. Oil pressure is right where it should be for this model. At least it's supposed to be in the green in real life. There we go. Lights as required. Put landing and taxi on. We'll put the nav on for ADS-B. Seatbelt harnesses. Flaps up. We'll test that switch. Good. Okay. Heat vent defrost. Let's check weather force. Start the weather. That might help. Just want to say that TAC chart, I put a link to it in the events channel. So if you're looking for that TAC chart, it's in there from the FAA. Okay, 77, the cam you're on. Okay. Connect to VATSIM. Yep. Think we're good to go. Got some big jets here. That's the model matching. Oh man, that one's doing a handstand right there. Look at that. We're going at 3,500. We're going to keep this low, slow, and be able to see the scenery in Florida here. On our way, flying over Walt Disney World first, then going to Sanford. And should be good. So, all right. And there's no control tower right now. We said 8:15 they're supposed to be on, so we'll see what happens. And just going to finish up the checklist here. Flaps up, heat vent, defrost, avionics on. Go. We'll leave at 1200. ATIS. Oh, God. I got to check my chart here. On these flights, I really don't do a full flight log and all that stuff. I just kind of go with it with the GPS. 118.675. Not hearing any weather, are you? Did I turn this up enough? Okay, if not, we'll cheat and we'll just go with Rex weather for us. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's METAR either way, right? 130 at 5. Okay. Altimeter 299.2. Temperature 25, dew point 22. Broken at 6,500. So again, we're going to be at 3,500. That's enough clearance. And we're looking pretty good. 130 means runway 14 out of here. And everything's planned there. So, that's some Unicom. All right. Back to the checklist. Oh, I just missed what that was, but we'll wait for it. All right. Altimeter 299.2. Yep. Okay, altimeter, transponder, ADS beyond, radio test. VATSIM Unicom says they're not Echo Foxtrot. Radio check, please. Thank you, 9 Echo Foxtrot. Taxi light is required. We already got that. We're going to do the brakes out here. We're going to wait till everyone starts leaving here. But these guys over here are Virtual USA Flight Club members. This one seems to be taxing out. And they are not big jets. That's just the model matching. So we'll just go with it. Someone's working on model matching for VATSIM, but I heard that it's not perfect yet, so I didn't really install it yet. And other than that, Okeechobee is a Class G airport, so it's non-towered, and you should be able to depart out of here. So, runway 14. Should be able to go forward and take a left over there. That's runway 14, so we'll see if there's an entrance here somewhere. Okay, see what's going on. Okay. They're going runway 5. All right. We'll take runway 5. That's fine. That means that we're going to be going all the way down that way. We'll call our taxi. So, all right. Okeechobee traffic, Cessna regular Foxtrot, taxiing to runway 5, Okeechobee. Testing the brakes. They work, and we're just going to follow this traffic down. Again, my rudder pedals are still a little broken, but somewhat functional, so we're going to go with it. We'll go out of this taxi right here. Some of these guys using X-plane. Ooh, we got a helicopter here tonight. Pretty cool. Put on the left. Going right. Again, sorry about my rudder being a little stuck. Just forgive me on that little grass clipping there. It looks like we're number 3 for takeoff here. Yeah. I got you on that one. Boy, that I haven't seen that movie in forever. Now I'm gonna have to watch that movie again sometime. But I picked Okeechobee because it was not towered, so that way I didn't have to wait as long. We can get going here. We're gonna fly directly over Disney World and then head east to Sanford. And some of the other members are taking off from Sanford and going to Venice, Florida. So we kind of split up on this one. She's okie dokie. Yeah. All right. Why isn't my GPS work? Oh, it is. It just had to kick in there for a second. Okay. All right. Quick run up while we're here. While we're waiting. Okay. Brakes are set. Let's see. Fuel, trim, looking good. Flight controls, good. What am I missing here? Unnecessary lights. I'm actually doing it. It's just a matter of getting it done. Instruments, stern coordinators, no flag. Heading indicator, good. Vertical speed looks good. Altimeter looks good. Horizon looks good. Airspeed looks good. Mixture best power, 1800. Okay, right. Good. Back to both. Left. Back to both. Very good. Oil pressure, oil temperatures in the green. Vacuum looks good. Amp should be charging slightly, but that always does that. So idling. Very good. Back to 1,000. All right. I'm going to taxi up here a little bit more. And if there's a problem with takeoff roll, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will land. And there's enough available runway ahead of us, we'll land directly ahead on the runway and board takeoff. If we are under, let's just say 700 feet, this problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, will land directly, have no wind, 30-degree turns, best glide speed, and the 172 SP is 68. If we are above 700 feet in this problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we'll take a turn to the right and land down on the taxiway, the grass and runway, whatever is available to us. Best glide speed again is 68, and we are going to hold short here for departing traffic. Right, we're next. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Sorry, I got a little hectic there. I didn't even do the normal starting soon stream thing tonight because we just got things going here. So there we go. That's a big jet. That's a huge jet. All right, we're gonna take the runway. So Okeechobee traffic, Cessna Foxtrot, departing runway 5, Okeechobee. And here we go. I don't like to do that lineup and wait thing at non-towered airports because you never know if someone's coming in and you just didn't see them, and then you're kind of stuck, you know. That's just me though. You can do that. There's no problem with that, but you gotta be really sure that there's no traffic there. All right, we're in the middle. Okay, we're gonna go full throttle, rotate at 55, climb at 74. Here we go. Winds are from our right slightly, so we'll do a right aileron correction. And here we go. This should be we're not flying real time obviously, but we are flying real world weather, so and rotate. Here we go. Right, and I'm gonna be flying mostly by GPS tonight. Not really worrying about that. We're not going to use this GPS because that's going direct to Sanford. We're going to fly over Disney World first. So there we go. Get to about 1,000 feet. We'll take a turn to the left and go on track here for direct to Walt Disney World. And I had a really funny thing happen. For some reason, when I did the update, it turned off the Bing satellite imagery downloading. So I don't know what happened with that, but Disney World I checked out earlier today, thank God, because it had all these default buildings in the shape of the Disney World buildings, and I was like, man, I would have been really bummed if I flew this whole thing just to see that. We want to see the real Disney World, which is in the simulator. They did really nice models of it. They're not totally perfect, but they're pretty good for Walt Disney World. And you know what? I'm gonna look to my left now. Take a standard left departure out of here. Clearing the left. And here we go. Let's have some fun. Excuse me. But chat is open. Feel free to chat on this about hour-long flight to Walt Disney World and then eventually Sanford. Is it Sanford? No, I'm thinking Sanford, Maine. See, what is it? It's Orlando Sanford International Airport. So, been thinking Maine because I'm thinking about taking a flight there in real life on Saturday. So, or New Hampshire. Probably New Hampshire, actually. Now I think of it, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. But here we go. We're gonna keep climbing now, but I'm gonna climb at 80 knots. We dropped the nose a little bit for enhanced cooling and better view over the nose, especially for short people like me. So, of course, we know the trim in this thing is a little sensitive, but we're gonna start taking the G1000 once I get done with the Around the USA flights. We have 2 more flights, I believe, on the Around the USA flights to do, and then we have to come up with some missions here. So, might ask for Eric Flight viewers to give me your input on what you think would be cool to see in the simulator for a flight, and that way I can fly to places that I might not have thought of by myself, and it should be a good time. But I gotta turn on course here. Clear on our left. We're gonna reach this ring. Yeah, we're clear. All right. Again, we're going to 3,500 feet. We're on VETSIM Unicom because we're not requesting flight following at all. We're just gonna have a nice, easy flight up to the north here. We should be good. So, fantastic with the air traffic control here. There is Miami Center that we could get if we wanted to, but again, I'm just going to go with it. We're right there, and then we got 2 other members here for the Virtual USA Flying Club. So this is a Virtual USA Flying Club event. Flying over that and then going to Sanford. So we will need some air traffic control, though, as we get closer to Orlando because it's going to get very busy around that Class Bravo. There's lots of military operations areas. There's also a restricted airspace that I'm probably going to try to avoid up ahead over Lake Kissimmee. And we'll also probably descend underneath Class Bravo to fly over Disney World just a little bit because we are going direct. The area around Disney World, the Bravo starts at 6,000. So again, we'll probably climb there to do that. But on course right about almost now. But very good. Yeah, pretty good turnout tonight for this event. We have some traffic out there. In fact, that is Okeechobee behind us. So got some guys still taking off out there. I didn't put my strobes on. I'll put them on now. And things are looking good. Disney World, here we come. Funny story. I was supposed to go to Disney World this past summer with the kids. Yeah, that's what I just said. I think it looks pretty good. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That includes me. But I think there might be a couple more coming on a little bit later. So, but yeah, I did it just to see Walt Disney World. I love flying over things like this, and gives you a reason to do something different than just the around the USA flights all the time. Which again, we're almost done with, so we have to come up with some more ideas. But no icing here in this event. 70, what was it, 77 degrees? Okeechobee, 77 degrees. Yep. So, all good. All right, bearing's about 338 with the GPS, so we'll go here. Set the DG, make sure it's accurate, which it is. And let's get some looks outside here. Well, that looks like Florida. Okeechobee's in the back there. And I do not have Microsoft Flight Simulator traffic on tonight. We just went with group only, and seeing that I'm not in a group, we're just going to have VATSIM traffic everywhere. Again, some people are still departing from there back there. But we are on our way. On course. All right, we are almost into the Marion military operations area here, but we're just going to assume that it's not active or that we're safe to go through it. You can't really avoid those out here unless you go on the coast. So, but anyways, I was supposed to go to Disney World this summer with my family, and COVID kind of ruined those plans. So we have the vouchers for flying down there still, but we just kept the money and saved it, which ended up being a good thing. I'm gonna lean out the mixture now that we're over 3,000, and that's gonna give us a lot more power there. You see that? Right about there. Now our climb's gonna be a lot better, which I kind of knew that that's why it was suffering, but we're good. But yeah, lots of scenery to see. That's why we took it during the day, so we could see outside the plane. And if you see any lights, probably some virtual USA Flying Club members. So, okay, we'll trim down to get to 3,500. Right on course. So, I'll try to put out anything that looks pretty big out here. But the next thing you're probably going to see of interest is probably going to be Lake Kissimmee. And again, we might have to deviate to the east a little bit to avoid a restricted airspace. So, watch it for gators too. We will deviate for any gators on our route. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Like in Florida, if you go down because of engine trouble, that's landing's the first worry, obviously. But after that, I'd worry about the wildlife if you're in the Everglades or the swampland. Because it's probably gonna take them a while to get to you too. Where's that about? Hmm. All right, let's look at Sky Vector there because I'm getting a little nervous now. Here's our route right here. Okeechobee clear. Well, scattered 6,500. Sorry. Disney World's about here, so scattered 2,800. Yeah, we have to be a little careful. And then Orlando broken at 24. Sanford is saying few at 2,400. So, but we're gonna be down to 1,500 by then to follow the oh god, whatchamacallit I got right here. to follow the Jessup VFR arrival after we get out of Disney World. So we'll be heading east. We have to go 5 miles right on the south shore of Lake Jessup, and then we're gonna go northbound to midfield downwind from runway whatever they give us. We gotta maintain 1500 until advised by air traffic control at Sanford. So that's why we have terminal air charts, which I usually don't use a lot in the real world because I'm not going into Boston or anything. But I do have them on my tablet. The only thing is that you see how these directions were at the top of the section. This is from the FAA, by the way. I downloaded this as PDF. They cut that off, so you can't really see the the directions for the arrival. Like it'll say, "Oh, here's the arrival," but it says "read at the top of the procedures on top," and you can't read it. So you ultimately have to download the PDF anyways, which I'd probably put in my tablet if I had to. But we're good. All right, we are in the Marion military operations area. It says numerous lakes to the right. Let's take a look. I don't see any lakes. Do you see any lakes? Unless, oh, these lakes maybe, those little lakes. All right, check our altitude. I'm sure that I'm all over the place. Oh, wasn't that bad? Well, look at that. The trim actually kind of worked. We're going to go to 2,400 to stay more maneuvering speed here. We still keep a decent cruise. Ground speed 128 knots. Working for us tonight. And can't complain so far. Yeah. I wonder if they have gators here, because I know that people have been putting bears into scenery because they have like a default scenery of animated bears, but gators I've not seen. That'd be kind of cool if you could have a couple of those. You wouldn't really see them that well, so bears at least bigger for a bush flying, but it is what it is. But things are pretty good here. Again, gotta watch out for some broken clouds, like what's coming down now. Do you see that? I thought that was coming down a little bit. And with Rex Weather Force, I am trying the transitions differently. I don't think I can show you though, because it's using the weather. But I did, I did more of a transition over time effect. So we're gonna see how that works with tonight's flight. So okay. Up ahead is Lake Kissimmee, so that's the lake I was telling you about. But again, we're gonna have to deviate over here, so that way we don't get into restricted airspace, which is over here. Unless I check that really fast and find out what the rules are with that. But I don't know if actually maybe I could see it. Let's see. 2901 BEM. All right. There's Lake Kissimmee. Here it is. 2901 BEM. Oh, there it is. All right, let's zoom in. 2901 BEM, 14,002, but not including flight level 1. All right, we're good there. 1,000 to 4,000, so we're not going to be able to do that. It's intermittent, so we're going to go around it. And not worry about it at all. So we're going to head right over here to the east of Lake Kissimmee. And then honestly, the next thing we have to worry about is the Class Bravo. And we're going to have to descend under 3,000 to make that happen. I'm probably going to get flight following around there, because that's something you don't want to mess with. So, but Nathan should be right off to my left here somewhere. I don't know where altitude they're at. They're at 3,500 as well. So, see if we can see anybody. And like real life, it's kind of hard to see aircraft unless you can see their lights and stuff. And that's why we put the landing lights on. I also leave my taxi lights on for enhanced visibility. Because why not, right? That could be an airport out there. That is actually. White and green lights means it's civilian, but there is someone supposed to be like kind of behind me, so I don't know. I hope they're seeing me. And they're supposed to be at 3,500, so I don't know. keep an eye out for people like we usually do, anyways. Yeah, you know that we were talking about it. Were you talking with us about that? About Tucker got there and the paraglider? I think that's a pretty cool thing. I don't know. My wife has a problem with me flying planes. Never mind paragliders with nothing around me. But I think I want to do that someday too. That's kind of cool, and that does not require a pilot license. That just requires training, and that's it, and probably a driver's license. I would think. I don't even know if it requires a driver's license, but it'd be pretty cool. All right, MacDill Air Force Base Auxiliary is out here somewhere in the distance. Probably this thing right here, and that's why there's some military operations areas all around it, and also restricted airspace. So it is what it is. Lake Kissimmee, Lake Marion is right here. And in traditional Florida fashion, we have tons of swampland and low waterlogged areas until we get around Orlando. But I don't see any gators. Sadly, no gators at all. And deviating to the east a little bit to stay at restricted airspace. Well, if you have to, just keep flying above them till you find a hole. That's about the best you could do at that point. And then if you can't find a hole, just kind of say, hey, it's nice training for instrument. I've done that before myself. Yeah, or you could do some nice slow circles there to try to get through the hole as you descend in a circle. I've done that too. All right, but these clouds are gonna slowly descend a little bit. And just to show you, we own the air here. This is Virtual USA members going to Venice. We're going to Sanford, and I don't know if I'm gonna fly after Sanford. We'll see what time it is, but I might actually take the swing out to Venice or somewhere close. I could also do Hollywood, Florida. Thought I saw something there. I think I'm just getting old. Yeah, I'm just getting old. I didn't see anything. But I really like flying in Florida, and I wish I could do it in real life. But unfortunately, I live in Massachusetts, so that's not really a possibility. And then when I was going to go to Disney World, just for just to see what would happen. Hey, usable fuel in this plane. Let's see. I honestly don't know. I can actually check down my checklist for a second. But it's nice to see you again tonight. Usable fuel. Well, I got the burn rate right here. 2,400 is about 7.8 gallons per hour. And I'd have to look at the POH, which I do have. I don't know if I have it on my tablet, though. So, give me a second. Nope, it's not there. All right, SD card. That's right. But enjoy the scenery as we fly to Lake Marion around the restricted airspace. So let's see, SP. Here you are. POH with Acrobat. And there's unusable fuel because the siphon only goes to a certain level, and that means that there's still gas underneath the gravity fed. Well, actually, this isn't gravity fed. This has fuel injection. But in a gravity fed system, you're not going to get every single thing of fuel to go down the fuel hose, if you will. So, like on the 152, you fill it up with 26 gallons, but only 24.5 is usable because the other 1.5 gallons is stuck below the siphon to gravity feed it down there. So, all right, let me see if I can find that. It's probably in the weight and balance, which should be section like 5 or 6. So, it's probably in another section too, but weight and balance usually tells you what it is. Do. All right, I got operations still. All right. Wait, here we go. Total fuel required. Guys are being like children again. All right, I'm still looking for that usable fuel. Oh, I got the performance charts here. Weight and balance. Okay, it should probably tell me in the weight and balance how much fuel is not usable. Weight and balance. All right, that's the positions here. All right. So, 53 gallons maximum usable fuel. 53 if this is there. So that's pretty big. What did this say? Yeah, it's about 53 gallons usable. So that would put you about 5.5 hours to be, you know, conservative. So it does not get evaporated. Just you keep putting it in, and that's just, there. So it doesn't really evaporate. They have a fuel overflow drain and vents to keep the fuel not being vacuum pushed anywhere. But again, this is fuel injected, so this is a little different. This has a fuel pump and everything. So this isn't gravity fed. The fuel pump kind of pumps the fuel into the engine. But um, yeah, so that'd be a lot of fuel. If you figure the 152 has 26, this carries 53 gallons maximum. That's also a lot of weight. But if you're taking passengers, you might not use a full fuel tank because you want to keep the weight under maximum weight. So maximum weight in this is 2,550 pounds total, and that includes the weight of the plane plus whatever you put in it. So the empty weight includes unusable fuel and full oil, and that's 1,642 or about that. Depends on the plane, honestly. So you'd get that on the sheet that they calculate it with. And then 6 pounds per gallon for fuel. So what's that? Another 318 pounds if you want to fill it to max. So I mean, that's a lot of fuel. And I think they kind of modeled it like that here. 91%. Yeah, it's got to be about 53. So, well, that really depends on the plane because it really depends on the equipment that they put in and stuff. So in the real world they have like an actual. I'm here. I hear you. But they have like a paper that fills it out with the calibrated weight that they actually weigh the plane in and everything. But in the example here, it says 1,642 pounds. So your usable weight is about 800 something pounds. And then there's a ramp weight too. You can actually be 2,558 pounds when you first start the plane because they figure that you're going to have engine startup, taxi, and run up, and that's going to take care of 8 pounds or a little bit over a gallon of fuel just to do that. So empty weight is the whole plane plus oil and unusable fuel calculated in with that. So, and that's why when you do the weight and balance, they have the usable fuel, and that's totally separate from the empty weight. So, but again, they actually weigh whatever plane you're flying in real life to get a really clear idea. Because if they change out the radios, they take something out, they put something in, and it becomes standard, then they're going to weigh it again just to make sure that they have the actual real figure of the weight. So, all right, we are over at Kissimmee Lake. We're probably going to call pretty soon. You know what? No, we're good. We'll troll them a little bit, but we are going to descend here to go to like 2,500. And that's again to avoid the class Bravo here. So don't worry about this TFI. That's not really happening till 11:14. So in real life, they're having a space launch probably or something. If you see this, I'm going to be under 3,000 feet here. And then we're going to go to the left of Kissimmee Gateway. Come over here and we'll still be under 4,000. And we'll fly over Disney World. This has to be under 6,000. And then we're going to go down to 1,500 and get some following there of some sort. So that's the plan, at least. The way I remember it is west is odd, East is even. East even. So that's when flying over 3,000. Anything below 3,000, you can be at whatever you want, honestly. So like I could be at 2,900, 2,800, 2,750. It doesn't matter, but you really got to look out below 3,000 because that's where a lot of accidents happen. Because again, anyone can go at any level they want. So got to keep your eyes open. All right, we are flying over the northern part of Lake Kissimmee. Oh wait, no, we're not. See, almost made a boo boo. It has restricted airspace still, but we haven't gone into it, which is good. So I'm gonna go a little further north while descending to 2,500. You wait till about 10 feet over the runway, and then you just gradually pull back on the yoke. You're looking out the left corner when you can't see ahead of you on the runway, and it's kind of a hand-eye coordination thing at that point. So sometimes you'll hold it, sometimes you won't when you have to like let it down. But it's probably one of the hardest things to get down as a private pilot when you're doing that. I mean, I did a lot of landings before my check ride, so it's kind of a feel, along as well as a hand-eye coordination thing. But there's an excellent video by Rod Machado that helped me out a lot on YouTube. You pull power right about at the threshold. It depends on your speed, because if you're going like 70 knots, you're going to pull that out a little sooner. If you're at 65, you're going to wait till you're kind of near the numbers more, you know? And again, that's more of a feel thing as well. All right, we do have to go to the right here, and we are at 2,500. So we're going to do this climb here. Very good. Restricted airspace. We're right on the border here. Jeez. Well, Lake Kissimmee, everybody. And Disney World's out there. So GPS definitely helps around these areas. There we go. Let's go a little further out to the east here, just to make sure we're clear. So if you watch me at Sanford, I'll try to go through the steps again, but it's gonna get a little more hectic because it's Class C there. If you have the stall warning horn go off right before you land the thing, that's actually a pretty good thing because that means that you're settling it right at a good speed. So stall warning horn is designed to go off a little bit before you start stalling, and so it kind of tells you that I mean, you're basically trying to go, for lack of a better term, a controlled stall as you land on the ground, because you want it to just to settle down on the runway. But all right, we're definitely below the class Bravo altitude. And now we're going to be out of the restricted airspace. So we're going to take a turn to the left. And we should be good. But it's funny how it's 3,000, the ceiling here for the Bravo. So we're going to be under it by like 600, 500 feet. All right, we're out of the restricted airspace, which is good. And there we go. We have some flight following soon. Let me just get on there. So, who is this? Is this Jacksonville? Yeah. All right. Jacksonville Center. We're going to tune into them 135.925. All right. The Series X or the PS5? No, I'm not a console gamer at all. Last thing I owned I think was the Sega CD. So, and I have not flown a DME ARC. Nope. That might be more of a commercial maneuver. So, all right, I gotta focus here for a second. So, me, it really depends on where I'm flying. Like when I went to Keene, New Hampshire, I went over the Class Bravo. I was at 8,500 to avoid the Class Bravo, so I could go direct over it. Because there's no need for me to go through it unless I really had to, and it was a quick during a long flight. Typically, if I'm in the area, I stay under 3,000. I'll go like 2,700, 2,800. if I'm going to like New Bedford doing landings, stuff like that. But if I'm doing a cross country, anything like 50 nautical miles and over, I kind of look at the terrain and stuff, and I kind of plan out from there. If I'm going over Providence, typically like 6,500, 4,500 is the minimum there because you want to go over Providence. And I try to stay out of Class C and Class Bravo unless I really need to, you know. But I have been in Class C before, just not in Class Bravo. And emergencies, I haven't had to declare an emergency, but I have had carb icing. That's about the closest I've come to an emergency, and that was pretty easy. If you go on the Arc Flight channel, check up the Block Island video. Just search for Block Island under my videos, and about right when I'm descending into Block Island, you'll see the carb icing, and I handled it. I thought it was a mixture thing at first, but it ended up not being, and I turned the carb heat on, and it was fine. But anyways, I'm gonna contact Jacksonville Center here. So here we go. Jacksonville Center, November 4, 8 9 Echo Foxtrot. Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, type 172, about 1 mile north of Lake Kissimmee, requesting flight following just so that we can have some following underneath the class Bravo here. 1001 and remain outside the class Bravo, 9 Echo Foxtrot, which we are going to do, you know, so. All right, time to head north. I just kind of stayed from getting in the class Bravo underneath there, just to make sure. Well, the prop was slowing down and the RPMs going up and down. And so that kind of tells you it's either a mixture thing or icing in the carb. But if you look at the video, I got it all there. You'll see it, and you'll see it in real time. So that will definitely show you what it looks like. The RPM basically goes vroom, vroom, vroom. That is correct. We're gonna go via Disney World first, though, for the kids. All right. So here we go, kids. We're going to Disney World. You just won the Super Bowl. Where you go? I'm going to Disney World. So, and it happened because they had icing in the area, and I was descending. It was December 23rd, but they had reports of icing in the area, so I knew to be wary of it because that's why you check the weather before you go anywhere. And I was over Rhode Island Harbor. Sorry, Rhode Island Sound, and I did not think about aerobatics. I'm pretty good with that. My wife already doesn't like me flying in real life, so why give them more of a scare? But my next thing is probably an instrument rating. And then I want to maybe take lessons in a Cirrus just to say I flew a Cirrus, even though it's very expensive. And then I'll probably go train with Pipers and stuff like continue to fly the Cessnas. So, but we'll see what's going on. We're right underneath Class Bravo now. Cypress Lake is right there. Again, Lake Kissimmee is back there. We kind of did a little couple S turns here, but now we're good. We might descend even further to 1,500 feet. And I asked for flight following so that way, if there's any aircraft around me, he can kind of give me a look around there. I was descending, but honestly, it was cold that day, and anywhere between 20 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit with visible moisture, which there was haze, you can have icing conditions. So that's basically what was happening out of Block Island. It was a little hazy and literally cleared, literally cleared with the carb icing in like a maybe a minute at most, but it was more like 15 seconds. It wasn't that bad. And then I kind of applied carb heat for the rest of the flight for most of it because I was pretty paranoid at that point that I was going to get some icing. But basically, what that does is it deflects the air going around the muffler into the carburetor. So, and it makes your air mixture leaner, so therefore you have less performance on the RPMs, but you're trading that off for heating up the carburetor for icing. So okay. All right, we're gonna avoid the Kissimmee Gateway, class Delta above. We have Lake Tohopekaliga right here. I hope I said that. Tohopekaliga. I'm going to say it one more time. Tohopekaliga right there. I'm not going to be able to say that too much. But the RPMs were the first sign. So go check that video out. Basically, you saw the RPMs going vroom, vroom, and you could kind of hear the engine like, starving for air. And that's when you knew that there was icing in there. So, buildup of ice in the carburetor. That's a good video because I survived. That's why it's good. But from now on, whenever I fly like over Rhode Island Sound or any big body of water, I have an inflatable life vest on me that I can pull a cord on if I'm going down in the water. So, good thing to have. It was a worthwhile investment. I hope to never use it, but just in case I do have one. So, these clouds. Let's look at the weather on Sky Vector here. Kissimmee says overcast at 2,100. So you know what? Let's descend down to 1,500 here. And that way we're at 1,500 for, how much is what? Where did I buy what? Tell me, because I can't remember what I was saying. Sorry. I was paying attention to my flying there. Oh, you mean the inflatable life vest? I bought it used on eBay for like 50 bucks. And I bought a brand new one of the same type for 50 bucks. They're the Raven ones. So they're not like the $200 ones, but they retail for about 100. And all it is a CO2 cartridge. It shows you that you can deploy it still, and it inflates the vest right there. It has a whistle in it, and then I'm gonna get like a GPS beacon someday when I get enough money, and have that in there too. So, but I don't fly enough over water to justify the purchase of the GPS thing. And if I had to ditch the plane in the ocean, which I'd rather not, I'd rather be on land. But if I had to, the plane's gonna sink. Your best bet's to get out of the plane after you get there. You keep the door open before you land on the water because a lot of landings on water do not end well. The plane can tip forward and all that stuff. But um, I'm right. I'm right outside Kissimmee, and they said that it's down to 2,100, so I'm staying at 1,500. So, well, you don't want the plane to fall somewhere. You stay in the plane strapped in, and then if you survive that, the door's already open because you open it as part of the emergency procedure, hopefully, and then you get out of that plane. You don't worry about the plane at that point. You worry about yourself and get away from the plane because if it goes down fast, then you got a vacuum sucking you down in the water. So, but best bet is to get out of that plane, have your emergency radio if it's waterproof, and if not, my cell phone's waterproof, and I have the number for the Coast Guard in there. And likewise, you might be calling on 121.5, which is the emergency channel, and well, the plane's going probably about 100 miles per hour, 70. So if you hit water at those speeds, you're probably not going to have a good day. Does that make sense? All right, let's head north because we're going to go around Kissimmee. Again, we're going to descend down to 1,500 to stay on these clouds, which is a good call at this point because you see that they're going down. And Kissimmee should be right off our wing, actually, over here. The airport, which is Class Delta, so that's going to stay out of that. So, I mean, you could try jumping out of the plane, but you got to remember, if you're going at those speeds, the water can almost be like concrete in some situations. So, probably not a good reason to jump out of the plane. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. It's your best bet on any plane is to try to ride that in on a crash. That's why they have the harnesses and the straps around you. So, but your best bet is to put like a jacket if you have it in front of you, so that when you do go forward, if you hit the yoke, you're gonna be okay. But I would not jump out of a plane. Again, you're safer in the plane because the plane will take some of the absorbing of the crash. So your job is to minimize the impact and to try. I mean, it's relatively safe to glide in a plane. It's just a matter of finding somewhere where you can land. And you have about a minute and a half for every 1,000 feet that you're in the air. So right now, I'd have about 2 minutes or so to find a place to land with gliding on this plane. So if the engine were to go out, I'd pitch to make it go to 68, and I'd probably go to Kissimmee if I can make that happen. If I can't, I'm probably looking at somewhere where there's no civilization. So maybe over here. That's a really short landing, actually. Maybe over here somewhere in a field, or last worst case scenario, maybe ditch there. So it's just a standard generalized formula that we have. You have about a minute and a half for every 1,000 feet you're in the air at glide best glide speed. So all right, north is Disney World. So let's have some fun here. Okay, 2,400. We'll level it out, and we're very low right now. Oh, I can't break down the math, bud. I got that from just tips of the flying world. And if you really want to break down the math, you got to get the POH out and do all the math there. So they know in the POH exactly what you got. But typically, you have about a minute and a half for every 1,000 feet, and that depends on if you're keeping your best glide going and stuff. So I went to Keene, New Hampshire by going at 8,500 feet. I had time to basically land almost anywhere around me at an airport. Cause it was there's lots of airports in Class B, Boston. So what's the hardest question? I gotta be honest with you, and I'm not trying to gloat or anything, but hardest maneuver. I'll do the hardest maneuver. How's that? Because the questions were he took it easy on me on questions. I'm not and again. I'm not trying to gloat, but I actually over prepared for what he asked me, which is probably better anyways. The hardest maneuver was he simulated an engine fire over Plymouth Harbor, and he's like, "What are you gonna do?" And what I did was I did a 45-degree turn while descending to the left to try to put out the fire, and also descend as soon as possible. And then I had to pick a place to land, which happened to be the beach um, to the right of me. It's that little neck that comes in Plymouth Harbor. Because at first I was like, I think I can make the airport. And he's like, oh, I'm not too sure about that. So then I already knew that the beach was the next best thing, and he agreed with that. And then I had to set up a landing for the beach while the engine was out. And then when I showed him that I could do that, then he was pretty much good with that. And then that was the hardest maneuver, honestly. Other than that, I'm not trying to make it sound easy, but he did. He said you have an engine fire, and he pulled out the throttle slowly, like it was an engine fire without any engine. And I tell him what I'd have to do, like pull out the gas, do the checklist, because I had time. And but that was the hardest thing for me, at least. The cross country, we literally went on it for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes at most, and he's like, okay, and he just made me describe what I would do, and then we were good. So and then the landings and stuff, that was good. I got a little nervous on the first stall, and I forgot to do the clearing turn. I thought I failed at that point because there are some designated flight examiners that will fail you for the littlest thing, but he was very encouraging, and I corrected it right away. I was like, oh, I forgot the clearing turn. You know, I mean, even halfway through, I thought because of that, because I was wicked nervous, that I failed. And I was like, maybe we should just do this another day. And he's like, well, you can do it. It's your call. He's like, but I don't know if I'd give up that easy. So he was very encouraging. And yeah, I passed that day. So, all right, Disney World up ahead. We have to be at 3,500, or else we cannot. I mean, yeah, we have to be at 3,500, over 3,000, or we can't go above it. So we might have to go around the edge of it. So we will have to see what we can do. Clouds at Kissimmee are now overcast at 2,100. Excuse me. which is going to make it rather hard to get above 3,000. But we'll see what happens. And if not, we'll go around Disney World. We'll take a big circle around it. And then we'll set up for. I was cruising out over Plymouth Harbor after doing my stalls. So I was probably about a little over 2,000, 2,300 feet or so. And then he said I had an engine fire. So. And then the hardest question of the day, this is funny actually. Hardest question of the day is when I was landing for the final time. And he's like, hey, did you see that bald eagle off the right side? Because they're trying to get you to get distracted. And I did not fall for that. They'll either drop a pen or a pencil, or they'll say a question like that to see if you're distracted, and they'll get you on that. So, I must have just, I went down to the landing to the beach. So probably it was probably about 800, 700 feet. And then, I was established on a glide to land. And he was like, okay, you're good. But when I practice my emergency landings like that, the engine off landings, um, my instructor actually had me, I wouldn't say buzz the field we were doing it at, but I got down to about a good 400, 300 feet. So probably about 200 feet over the ground because he wanted to really give me a real good idea whether I would have made it or not. So most of them I made, about two of them I wouldn't have made. So it is what it is. But all right, Disney World, here we come. Again, we're very low in altitude here, but we should be seeing it pretty soon coming up ahead. Again, I don't know what we're going to be able to see being at this low level because the clouds. But written, I got an 88. I should have got a 92. I totally blanked out on the whole transponder code for hijacking. I should have gotten a 92. And it wasn't, I mean, it was tough, but it was doable because I studied my butt off. So most of the errors I made were due to being nervous or at not knowing one or two questions. Memorization, but you also do like a weight and balance and stuff like that. So there's also calculations involved. So yeah, I at the end of this flight, I can actually no 7,500, 7,600 is communications, and 7,700 is emergency. So all right, we are getting on the outskirts of Disney World here, and it sucks that we're not going to be able to see it that well thanks to these clouds. But you know what? I'll try to climb. We'll see what I can do. So let's climb and see where these clouds are. But we have to stay out of the Disney World TFR. Not sure what we're going to see here. That seems to be a parking lot. Uh, we're on the outskirts here, people. I wish we could really see it, but I don't think we're going to be able to. I'll keep climbing, though. See, we got the resorts out here outside of Disney World. And again, the ceiling, I mean, the floor of the Bravo here is 6,000 feet. So we're okay. But that might be Animal Kingdom right there, now that I'm looking at it. That indeed would be Animal Kingdom. And we will fly right in a circle around Disney World. That's what we're going to do if we can't go over it. So, but we are about 2,000 feet, and we'll keep climbing here. And I'll give you what I can. So, because I am flying real world weather. All right, that looks to be the Magic Kingdom, maybe. Yep, there we go. Space Mountain. You see, we're hitting the cloud layer now. Space Mountain, Magic Kingdom. It kind of sucks. I can't get closer, but I can't do the overview right now because I'm looking at Disney World. But I can kind of go over things with you a little bit later if that's okay. I know you got lots of questions, but we're more about the scenery right now. And I do appreciate your questions. It's just we gotta kind of do what we came to do first. Okay, we're gonna fly right around Disney World. Space Mountain, the castle. That's the Dumbo rides right there, the blue and the red. And Epcot's going to be more down here. So we'll have to see if this clears up at all, or I'm going to be right around the circle. So 2,000 feet, we're already hitting the cloud layer. The vacuum is basically used for instruments. I believe the vacuum is for the vertical speed, the altimeter, and these are gyro. These are gyro. I'd have to look at it again, bud. I really would. I got the whole private pilot book over there that I studied from, but I know that this uses the RAM, air, and the static. Actually, static port. This uses the RAM with it too, though. So, but like I said, let's look at Disney World, and then I'll kind of go over things with you the best I can after I get done with this. Okay. All right, we're getting to the northern part of Disney World. Right, we're right outside the ring. So the vacuum is actually hooked up to a pump or a vacuum pump in the thing there, and that helps you use your instruments. So if you lose your vacuum, you're not gonna have instruments. This has an alternate static ear, so if your static port got clogged over here, you have a different way of doing it. And in some airplanes, you can actually break the glass on something, and it will help you. I guess with the static or the vacuum, I can't remember right now. But all right, we're at the northern part of Disney World, and there's not much to see here yet. But we are gonna be good at 2,000 feet. I wish we could be at 3,000. So Disney World, I'm going right around the circle because I can't go above 3,000 feet to see it from above. Yeah. All right, we'll keep looking. We should see Epcot on the other side of the circle. So, but it is what it is. We have some VAT sim traffic over there, and we'll just do a big circle around. So again, that looks to be Magic Kingdom over there. And we just gotta be careful. That's why I keep looking at my GPS to stay out of the TFR here. It's a big turnaround of point maneuver here called Disney World and turning around it. But we have to be under 4,000 feet coming up to be under the Bravo. And I wish the weather was a little bit better so we can go right over it. But people, they didn't have this TFR, this temporary flight restriction, until after September 11th. They said it's because of security. But some people think it's because they didn't want the airplanes doing messages in the sky with cloud riding and stuff like that. So no one knows because there used to be a lot of religious things that were sprayed above the park before September 11th, and I guess Disney, greased the palms of many politicians and got a TFR if that was the reason. And if not, there is a security component to it too. But kind of sucked in here with weather. So again, more housing development outside of Disney. Scott Tremonti from the band Creed and Alter Bridge lives over here. So he has a mansion. And seeing what we can see. This was Discovery Island back in the day, I believe. There's the Contemporary Resort right there. Oop. And once again, Magic Kingdom right over there. We're right on the edge of the TFR right now, so we gotta be careful. And it seems like the visibility is getting a little worse. So let's descend just a little bit, because we're stuck on the outside anyways. But yep, really hazy above here in Disney World. All right, we should hopefully see Epcot here somewhere. But that kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it? But I like the real world weather, so nice big circle around. That's what we're doing. Okay, Magic Kingdom's right over there. That's the Dumbo ride again with the red and the blue. Space Mountain right there. Temporary resort. What's that right there? I don't know what that is. Epcot should be coming up. In fact, yeah, that's Epcot right there. So there's the Epcot ball. Parking. This would be the monorail. Be cool if they could have an animated monorail, but you can only ask for so much. So Epcot there in the distance. Been there several times in my life. And then just wondering if we could see Universal Studios around here. I don't know. It's up the highway more over here. Disney owns lots of land out here, so there's the Dolphin Resort right outside Epcot. And Universal Studios should be somewhere around Epcot. So we'll see. This might be Downtown Disney. Yep. So that's that big balloon Peter Pan's thing and stuff like that. So this is a restaurant down there on the ship. A lot of downtown Disney restaurants and stuff like that, shops. This was the Planet Hollywood that's there. I don't know if it's there anymore. This scenery is from like 2016. This is a big air balloon that you can go up in. And again, back then they were still constructing things, but they kind of rebuilt it again since the satellite imagery. So Epcot again coming up all right, and we almost went around in a completely big circle. So still staying outside the TFR. And a lot of different resorts on the outside here of and they're all Disney resorts. This is usually where I stay. These are the value resorts because let's face it, how long are you going to stay in a hotel? So this is the All Star Music, I think, the All Star Sports, All Star Movies Resort, and then this one's actually a little nicer. I've stayed there too. That's the Art of Animation Resort, and the pool there is awesome. So, or it could be this. This might be Art of Animation. I'm sorry, and this is the Pop Century Resort. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. See, it's not that far from Epcot, and they're pretty nice rooms. They're smaller, but again, how long are you going to stay in the hotel room? This is the ESPN Sports Center. I don't know if they changed the name of that or not. And then this right here is Hollywood Studios, which used to be MGM Studios. See that Tower of Terror and all that stuff. So I guess this is right outside the TFR here. That was the backstage studio tour, which they recently have redone. With Star Wars World would be back here, but this scenery again is from 2014 or 16, so that's not there. And that was a circle around Disney. It seemed like it cleared up a little bit, though, no? Let's check the weather. It still says overcast at 2100 for Kissimmee. So So we'll finish our circle. We'll go around it to the north, and then we'll go landing into Sanford. So. He calling me? I hope he's not calling me. Could be calling me because I wasn't really paying attention. No, it's not me. Okay, good. All right, we're gonna load up the tack chart for the Jessup VFR arrival. And we'll ask for clearance to the Jessup VFR arrival. I think he would message me if he had to, but I think we're good. He knew my intentions would go around Disney, so. All right, so we still got to see Disney in a way, you know. Kevin coming got the Magic Kingdom again, Space Mountain. There's the Contemporary Resort. This is where you would take the boat over from the parking lot. If you park here, parking lot's right there, so that you could take a boat over to Magic Kingdom, or you can get on some shuttles. I've never parked there because I've always stayed on the resort, so we always use the resort buses that take you right in here, or we took the monorail in. So, but that is Disney World, and if you haven't been there, you got to go there someday. It is expensive, but it is a life-changing experience. So, all right, we're gonna send down to a 1500 in anticipation of the Jessup VFR arrival, and we'll do that. And let's see if there's approach here at all or not. I don't think there is. No, so we're gonna ask center for that arrival. But that was a nice little trip flying around Disney while staying out of the TFR area. All right, we're gonna go direct to Lake Jessup now. I think we can do that. Let me check my ceilings of the class Bravo. Yeah, if we're at 1500, we're good. We can do that, and we'll be fine. Right? So that was the best I was going to see at Disney tonight with real world weather. So it is what it is. I would love to play some Disney music on this, but I'll probably get hit with a copyright strike and they'll take down my video. So Disney's very protective of their copyrights on music and creative qualities because let's face it, that's a huge thing for Disney. And you can't blame them. So. All right, 1500. Increase the RPMs now, level off. All right, we're to the north of Disney World now. All right, going direct to Sanford now. And we're already in two-way communication with center, so we're cleared to go through the Charlie. And looks like I'm going to be behind Nathan and Rares, if I'm pronouncing that right, to go into Sanford. But thank you, Disney, for the views, and Now it's all about Sanford. Get some iced tea here. So I just visited Disney, if you just tuned in. And now we're going direct to Sanford at 1500 to stay under the Class Bravo here in Orlando. And also get set up for the, what's it called? The Jessup VFR arrival. So it says maintain 1500 until they let you know. But we're going to do that early enough so that we're just good to go. And downtown Orlando, oh, whoa, motion blur. Should be off to our right here. Don't know if we're going to see it, but we are going to get closer to go direct to Sanford. So, and Disney World again was out there in the distance. And downtown seems to be right in front of us, actually, over there. So as we get closer, I'll give you some outside views. Excuse me. We'll call for the Jessup VFR arrival in a couple of minutes. So, okay, we are 11 minutes out from Sanford, so not that far at all. Downtown Orlando in the distance. Staying at 1500 again to stay under the Class Bravo. Oh, don't slow down. A lot of scenery here. And a little bumpy, too. So. Okay, we're about 20 nautical miles out, so we're going to wait till we get a little closer, like 15, and then we'll request clearance for the Jessup arrival. But here we go. Orlando again, we're getting more downtown. We're getting rocked a little hard by these winds here. It says Kissimmee Gateway 270 at 6, but it means we should be getting a tailwind here. Excuse me. All right, take a look outside for Orlando. Downtown area. In the back there's the city out there. It's downloading a lot of data, so that's why it's skipping like that. Jacksonville Center, November 489 Echo Foxtrot. Cessna Echo Foxtrot, 17 miles to the southwest of Sanford. We're requesting clearance for the Jessup VFR arrival. Roger, will contact Tower when I have airport in sight, and I'm cleared for the Jessup VFR arrival. 9 Rick Foxtrot. All right, still downloading way too much data here. But we will get there. So the Jessup VFR arrival, one more time, is we're going to go to the lake south of Orlando Sanford. Then we're going to head directly north, and we're going to contact Tower when we see the airport in sight. So let's get Tower on standby here. 120.3. And again, we're going to head for the southern tip of Lake Jessup, which I believe is out here. Downtown Orlando over there. Got some traffic off our right. And want to stay around 1500 here. So that's Lake Jessup right there, looks like. So we're going to go to the south of that, and the airport is north of that. So let's hit to Lake Jessup. We are under Class Bravo. The floor of Class Bravo is 2,000, so we're below it, but we don't want to go into it without clearance. Okay, looking for the airport, which is out there. Okay. All right, we're going to the tower frequency right now. Change to that. Orlando Sanford Tower, November 489 Echo Foxtrot. Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, currently setting up for the Jessup VFR arrival route. We're going to request a full stop. All right, you guys are way too loud over there. I turn those guys down. Should have probably told my position. They might mess up on something. Sanford's going to be right north of that. Okay, I'm going to go to this point, Lake Jessup, and then we're going to go right north of it. I'll probably ask for clearance again because I don't know if he gave it to me or not. So there's Sanford right there. So again, we're gonna call out there and ask for landing clearance. Sanford Tower, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, 6 miles to the south on the Jessup VFR arrival, requesting landing clearance full stop. All right, so we're making north on the Jessup VFR arrival and left downwind for runway 27 left, Echo Foxtrot. Okay. So now we can go into, well, I mean, we had two-way communication either way, but he's good. I guess that he passed off my transponder code to tower because he did say to go over tower. That's what I'm taking it as, anyways. Okay, and pattern altitude at Sanford would be about 1,050, but he said stay at 1,500 for now. All right, did someone just message me? No, it said disconnected. Ah, here we go. So it disconnected me right as I got here. Good job. Very good job. All right, turning north. Right, going to Sanford, right there in front of us. That's runway 36 there. We're going to take a left when we get to the midfield and do a left downwind to runway 27 left. Okay. Well, this is interesting. VATSIM just disconnected and now I have nothing. Awesome. Not. So we might have to just go with this without VATSIM because it disconnected me, which kind of sucks. Connected party did not properly spawn after period of time, so in other words, I can't connect to VATSIM. All right, well, we'll just do a landing ourselves then. I'll try to connect here and there, but this is very dangerous. Try to connect in the pattern here. So, all right, stick with me because you're the only people I have in contact with me now. Did anyone else get booted off that sim? All right. Turning left downwind, runway 27 left. Yeah. All right. I'll give these guys a boost while I turn left here. All right. We're looking good. Okay, we're beam the number 1700. We're going to be high because you said 1500. Okay, 110 knots. We're going to level off here. 110 knots, 10 degrees of flaps. There we go. Angle down. What happened? Oh, interesting. I'm going to take my left base over this lake here. But we're not going to be on VATSIM. VATSIM just went down. The service just went down. So, which kind of blows, but it is what it is. All right. So that was an affirmative for the VATSIM servers going down, correct? That sucks. I was just in the pattern, so I don't want to connect again. All right, I'll try connecting. Okay, 27 left. Sanford Tower, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, back with you. Final for runway 27 left, requesting landing clearance. Roger, cleared for 27 left. 9 Echo Foxtrot. Okay, we're going way too fast here, so full flaps. And wasn't very realistic because we were above the white arc, but I'm doing my best I can with all these distractions. And we're just going to let it descend in here. Get my airport diagram out. Way too fast. Come on now. Come on now. Way too fast, but it's a long runway, so we'll make this. That's why we're floating so much. We were just way too fast. Luckily, it's a long runway, so. There we go. Okay, flaps up. All right, we're going to turn left on Sierra 1 over here to the left. Okay, brakes. Turn off over here. It's a lot of speed there, so that's why we floated so much. We're good now. We're clear of the runway. Okay, flaps up, strobes off. Checklist. Okay. I'll go 122.8 as well then. Well, this has been interesting. I'm going to go to Unicom. All right. All right, I am on VATSIM Unicom then. Sanford traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, clear of runway 27 left at Sierra 1. Yeah, that sucks. Sanford traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, crossing runway 3618 at Sierra. Sanford. Take a turn on Romeo here. Excuse me, right on Romeo. Okay, why does it have this here? This is not a runway over here. So I'm going to keep going. So I don't know why they're holding short there unless that's for runway 36, I guess. Oh, this is a runway. What runway is this? That must be 9 right still, even though 9 right actually ends up there. So I don't know. No clue. So that's kind of an error right there. Okay, that's all real old weather right here, by the way. JetBlue, all that stuff. That's the only MSFS weather we're gonna have here. And we're gonna go down Charlie to the FBO here. So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll take a left on the Charlie. Yeah, I got disconnected again. All right. You know what? We're just gonna end it here. So it's all right. We're off that sim, but we're doing our thing here. So what a time for the server to go down, huh? Okay, we're taking a left, clear on the right, clear on the left, and this would be Charlie, which they actually got. No, they're saying I'm on Charlie, which is so again the taxiway signs are all wrong at this airport as well as the others. So they got to fix that in the simulator still. And their best bet, I don't know if they would trust people just to have people to do that. Have a good night. FBO straight ahead, so we're gonna go park over there. This is the main terminal building, which for some reason is not there. And now my simulator basically froze up. So I don't know what's going on with this simulator. It's crazy. All right, so we'll report that as an error too. Wow, you don't see that every day. I pretend the text light's not there. Does anyone else help? Anyone else have a problem at Sanford where the Microsoft Flight Simulator, the terminal didn't load at all, and it's just it's just what you call those, the places where you walk onto the plane. Thank you, Jetways. Yeah. Well, that's probably a good reason. And I don't know what's going on here, but they still have work to do. I just shut down VATSIM there. And I don't have any clue what's going on right now with these slowdowns, but man, is this aggravating, huh? Hmm. Yeah. All right, well, we'll eventually make it to the FBO. I don't know when that will be. And I think it's a problem here. So excuse me while I change that camera for a second. And I restart it. Yep. Well, that's weird too, because it survived the whole flight, and yet now I have to reset it. It's weird. That is just weird. All right. Am I back now? We're about to pull up to the FBO here. And I think we are back. Yay, it does work. Oh my God. If anything goes wrong tonight, I swear. I'll pull in right over here. Go to my right over here. Pop this. Well, turn around. All right. And it'll be right there. That's not bad. I get the tow bar out and push it back. But let's get to our checklist and shut down here. Flaps up, strobes off. All that stuff's good. This was set for takeoff. Yep. trim set for takeoff. ELT verify silent avionics off. That means all lights too as well, except for beacon because the engine's still on. And mixture full lean. Mags off, master off, lights off, and parking brake. And there we go. Welcome to Orlando Sanford International, everybody. We are parked at the FBO over here. What is going on with this computer tonight? Jeez. Crazy. This is crazy. All right, let me reset the webcam again because, again, we're having another issue. Terrible. It's terrible. Restart it. But we will take the drone out in a second to go check out the area. And hopefully it doesn't. All right. That's ridiculous. Kind of tired of waiting for it to work. Makes no sense that it works like the whole flight and then all of a sudden, bam, doesn't work. So excuse me if the camera's off, but it's better that way, trust me. And all right. Switch microphone. All right, you couldn't hear anything I just said there for the longest time because it was giving me issues here. But now, seeing that the simulator is kind of working, we're going to take the drone out if it lets me. And it will not let me take the drone out for some weird reason. So I'll just have to give you a little tour from here. Let me see if my keyboard went off or something. That might have been it. All right. Boy, issues galore. So infuriating. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to call it a night. But we did get to see Disney World. We flew all around it in a circle, and we had some good views. It's clear now here in Sanford, so it'd probably be better to go out now. But it is what it is, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Uh, oh, there we go. It was the keyboard. My computer was having a couple problems here. Okay, so Sanford's here. That was runway 36 where we came from, and this was just Lake Jessup, which is where we came over for the arrival here. And then VATSIM disconnected the online air traffic control, so then I had problems. And it looked like it wasn't loading buildings, which it still isn't over here. So I have no clue what's going on over here. Yeah. Very interesting that there's no terminal buildings here. I do not get it. But they have buildings over here, so that's Microsoft Flight Simulator for you. And I just heard a jet. Oh, going right over us. That's real world traffic. And let's go check out Orlando if we can make it happen, which is out in the distance over here. So, if this crashes, I've had problems with the drone. If you go too far out while parked at an airport, it crashes the sim. It says that you crashed and your landing gear collapsed. But we'll keep trying here. And all right, so downtown Orlando should be out here. That seems to be a mall out here. Oh, see, it did that bug. All right, I'm calling it a night. But anyways, I'm glad that if you watch this with me, but you just can't do anything at this sim. So I'm going to leave it here. I did not die. I was parked at the airport. But anyways, I know it was a little frustrating at the end here with all these things with VATSIM going down and stuff. But I appreciate you watching. Please remember to follow and on Twitch and like and subscribe on Eric Flight YouTube channel. And I will see you in the future. I've had enough of the errors for tonight. So we'll call it a night and have a great night.